Hello everybody, this is heyimmawolf coming at you with a Gwentcast. This is a new project I'm embarking on, shoutcasting games from users like you. I'm currently low on content, so if you'd like to submit a video, upload your game to YouTube, send me a link at heyimmawolfgwent@gmail.com. I'd like to thank user Shang for submitting this video to help jumpstart my channel. I'm hoping that once all you lovely viewers see what kind of content I'm releasing, that you would be willing to help me out too by sending me VODs. So we have Discard Skellige here, which is a little bit different from last season. Last season we were trying to resurrect Ceres. This season we are taking skirmishers, pumping them up a bunch, and then discarding them to pump Pirate Captain by about 25. This will give us a bunch of mid-20s to 30 power bronzes. This looks to be actually a pretty high-level game. While it's only mid-2000s MMR, their border suggests that their play skill is a little bit higher than that. So we'll see Bran discarding 2 Skirmishers and a Nilfguard. Nilfguard not particularly important in this deck, at least not as important as it was last season, as it was really important to have Nilfguard triggers to count down the Ceres timer.
Seen it all already. And then some.
But we will see a new card from the Gold Immunity patch, a 7-drop that activates the veteran abilities of all your cards, no matter where they are. So if they're in your library or your hand, or if they're your leader, they will all get +1 when its deploy ability goes off. Now, killing Nilfgaard, I guess, is fine. It's the highest value target on the battlefield right now. But it's definitely not as important as it was before, so we'll see Dorige come down and pump the Skirmishers up to 12. And the Spies opponent actually has a lot of tempo. The brigades can become very large. Enforcers are basically reverse brigades, so there's a lot of tempo coming out from the Spies player. Any Spy that's played is +6 at least. Emissaries, when they hit 2 Spies, are worth 14, so these are a lot for bronze cards, and with that Ambassador coming out, that's a tempo swing of 24. Now we'll see what the Enforcers decide to shoot. I don't know if I agree with shooting down Priestess. I think I probably would have dealt a little bit of that damage to the 15. We lost about 1 damage from the Spy player, but that is okay. So we will give our Skirmishers +2 power, +2 armor, and the Spies player passes here, so the Spies player kind of thinks that he's in good enough shape here to maybe take it in 2 cards, but Coral will very, very handily take it in 1. Now, while Coral is not as strong as she was last patch, I am a huge advocate of her and think that she should be seeing a little bit more play than she has been. Especially if people are going to be playing these 20, 30 power bronzes, we should have a way to just immediately deal with them. We'll see what we mulligan here. Most likely Blood Curdling Roar, as Herbalist draws Blood Curdling Roar every time. Now Restore works a little bit different. We can recover a bronze card from our graveyard and play a different card from our hand, so we'll play Udalryk here. Now, notably, the Skellige player went down 1 card in round 1 to win the round, but we immediately get that back from our Silver Spy, and we also have Ciri to go up a card, which is very, very advantageous, assuming that our opponent does not have a Silver Spy of their own. And we will see Ciri come down here. We'll see what the Nilfguard player would like to strike back with.
Sometimes
an Ox. Unfortunately, that shuts down our card advantage that we were going to get this round, but we're still at least even. We're guaranteed to go into the last round on even, which means that we get the last play, assuming, again, that our opponent doesn't have a Silver Spy of their own. So I'm interested to see what Shang decides to do here. There's a couple of options. We can just drop the 23. Dropping this guy lets us just draw a card and then discard a card. So maybe we'll discard the Skirmishers, which is very, very dangerous against the Nilfguard player because of a card like Vicocaro Novice, which can resurrect a unit from the opponent's graveyard. And he has multiple ways to find that. He has emissaries, he has his leader, he has Kahir. Any of these cards will get a Vikokara novice, and I'm assuming that that's what our Nilfguard player is looking for. So either he doesn't have one or he didn't find one. Either way, that is good news for the Skellige player, and I highly, highly recommend dropping a priestess to take our 23 power bronze out of the graveyard before our opponent has the option to resurrect it. So
If not by
we'll
strength,
see
then by
what the
stealth.
response is here. That's a new card, Infiltrator, toggling the spying status of a unit. That's often comboed with the gold card Menno, which now destroys a spying unit. So if he wants to drop Menno, then we will be losing 28 power. Now, Poakim pulling Vikokara Novice shows me that Vikokara Novice was in the deck, and he didn't happen to find him after looking at 3 cards, which is very, very lucky for the Skellige player. Unfortunately, the Spies player is having to make all these very, very high tempo plays just to hold round 2, which is really bad news for round 3. So we'll see if the Nilfguard player will be able to come back here. Not having any brigades left. Maybe one enforcer. They might have a. Looks like they have 1 brigade, 1 enforcer left. So we'll see what's coming here.
I shall be your eyes.
Here finds Cantarella, which means that we no longer get the last play of Skellige. But we dodged a second Vikokara, giving us the option to bring back our 32 power bronze unit via Sigdrifa. So let's see what the Nilfgaard player can respond with. Notably, Nilfgaard has access to a few very, very interesting cards here. The silver Peter Sar resets a unit and weakens it by 3, so that's bad news for our pirate captain, especially since our opponent gets the last say. I'm expecting Priestess here. Yeah, Priestess will pick up the 17, very likely.
No
Okay.
door is
So the Priestess declining to pick up the 17 and taking the Infiltrator suggests that the Nilfgaard player has Menno to destroy our 32, so we can't count on that anymore. So we're essentially down 33 points. And another 10, I think, from Menno.
The Great Mother's grace is
So even though we have a pretty large lead here, that could go away very quickly. If we see a Menno here and then Peter Sar, we're in a lot of trouble.
I care for them.
And the Nilfgaard player stumbles and plays Peter Sar for seemingly no reason. I don't see a reason not to play that if Menno's your last card. Yeah, with Menno being the last card, there's no reason not to play Menno first and Peter Sar second. But being pretty new in the season, maybe the Spies player just isn't aware of the changes in the cards. Thank you everybody for listening. This was a really exciting game. I'd like to thank Shang for being the first to submit a video for my project. I would like to thank everybody for watching. Once I have enough content, you should see probably about 1 or 2 videos a day. If that's something that you'd like to see, please, please, please subscribe. If you would like to see one of your games cast by me, please submit a video link at heyimmawolfgwent@gmail.com. I'd like to thank you if you tuned in. This is heyimmawolf, signing off.